Y'all, this week is Halloween, which means the day after that is November, which means it's like basically Christmas. Okay, I'm probably getting a little bit ahead of myself, but hey, it's the most wonderful time of the year because we're like officially in the insanity of the holiday season. Because yes, you've got Halloween this week, and then we move into November, and you've got Thanksgiving, and of course you also have an exciting exam week, which isn't a holiday, but it just adds more craziness to the holiday season, and then it's Christmas. So these holidays have definitely kind of snuck up on me. And I've known what I'm going to do for my Halloween costume for like pretty much since the beginning of the month. But I'm like just now actually getting it put together. But what's nice about this costume is it's something that is easily thrown together. We've got a couple DIYs in here, but the DIYs are with things you probably already have around the house. So most likely you won't need to do any extra shopping, spend time doing that to get your materials, and it's super quick to throw together. So as you saw from the title of this video, yes, I am going as Kari McKeen from The Incredibles and especially from Jack Jack Attack. So part of the reason why I'm doing this is because actually like when I had braces and stuff, I had friends who would always be like, "You're Kari," and then I do the whole little like Mrs. Parr thing, So it's kind of a joke. So when I was thinking of what to do, I was like, okay, Incredibles 2 came out this summer. I have to do an Incredibles costume. So I'm gonna go as Kari. I feel like everybody goes, as the Incredibles, or Violet or Dash or Elastigirl or Mr. Incredible, but no one goes as Kari. And Kari is a very essential part of the movie, and she's a great character. So I decided that I would go as Kari. So her look is pretty simple as far as clothing goes. In every scene pretty much that we see of her, whether in the first movie or in Jack Jack Attack or when Mr. Dicker is interrogating her in the room, she always has on these baseball shirts. So I've got this one here. This is a Casting Crown shirt from when I went to one of their concerts. I was awesome, by the way. You should totally go if you ever get the chance. So anyways, hers are normally like colored, but I didn't want to actually like spend any more money than I needed to, and I already had this on hand. So this is what I'm wearing as my top. For pants, she wears like these capris. I'm just going with jeans because let me tell you, it's been cold and I've been loving it, but that means that I can't really wear capris. So the outfit itself is pretty simple. Get a baseball tee, some kind of just simple pants like jeans, and then a pair of sneakers. What makes this a fun costume though is all the little details that we're going to be throwing in there. So let's start gathering and making our props for this costume. Our first item doesn't require any DIYing. You just need a mirror, because one of like the best parts is when she's so tired, and Jack is just sitting there after, her being awake all night. She just sits there and she's like, as his laser eyes come down. So I'm going to be carrying a mirror around with me. I would make sure that you're careful with it, that you don't obviously break it, because that would not be good, and like 7 years bad luck, because that's totally real. But no, seriously, obviously do be careful if you're carrying this around for trick-or-treating that you don't accidentally break it. Another item that we are going to be making, and this takes a little bit more DIY, but we're going to be making the flashcards that she does with Jack Jack. What I did to make these is I got index cards, loaded them into my printer, and then I put up a Word document and I made these basic shapes. So the first one that she has, triangle. So yeah, this one's pretty simple. If you're in the Word document, you can add shapes. So I just added a black triangle to this one, and this is my first flashcard. Second one is a house. With the house, you can either use some of the images that are already in Word and just, use like a triangle and square to make your own little graphic. That's what I did. Or, of course, you can look online for a free clip art graphic. And then, of course, campfire. Whoosh! Everything goes even more crazy. So for this one, I found a free clip art. Obviously, make sure that whatever you're using, that you're within copyright rules. So I've got these flashcards, and what I'm going to do to make them just a little bit sturdier is I'm going to cover them with packing tape, just so that way, A, if it's raining or anything, they won't be totally destroyed, and B, it'll make them a little sturdier, so that way if they get bent and stuff, they won't, crumple up so much. So here we go, I've got Kari's flashcards made. Next prop that we're going to need is a fire extinguisher. So I'm going to carry this around with me all night. Haha, just kidding. Fire extinguishers are crazy heavy. That's why if you ever watched an action movie where they throw the fire extinguisher at someone and knocks them over, that's why, because this thing is crazy heavy. No way do I want to carry this around, and you probably don't want to carry this around all night either. So we are going to be DIYing a fire extinguisher. And actually this was inspired by a video I found on YouTube. I'll link that below. So that was kind of the basis and inspiration. I kind of did my own take on it. Well, let's go ahead and work on making our fire extinguisher. So this first step I'm showing you with making the fake fire hydrant is optional, and it's optional if you either want a flat bottom like a real fire extinguisher would have, or if you only have a 2-liter bottle that has already been cut off the bottom for some reason you don't actually know why. So pretty simple, I've got my glue gun heating up, and I'm just gonna hot glue this onto a piece of cardboard, and then I'll cut out the cardboard once it's done, and then we'll move on to painting. Once we have that all together, I'm going to paint it red. Of course, you can always spray paint this instead of doing it the tedious way like I'm doing. While we wait on our bottle to finish drying, we're going to work on the nozzle and hose part of our fire extinguisher. So it's actually a lot simpler than you might think, especially because we're using the 2-liter bottle. Just get a sprayer bottle nozzle. This is just from a basic sprayer bottle that we got at like Walmart. You could get one off of a Windex container. You just need a piece that looks something like this. What's really nice about this one is it fits on the top of my 2-liter bottle. I'm able to just screw this on here. Now, of course, the spray nozzle that I have is blue, so of course you could totally paint this if you wanted to. I'm not going to paint this because I want to be able to still use this sprayer nozzle with the bottle that it came with when I'm done with this costume, so I'm not going to be painting it. So some of my black accents are going to be blue. Because I'm not changing the color, I'm going to make a blue tube also to match with the blue of my sprayer nozzle. So the tubing, you can get super creative on this. You could use fabric, you could use actual tubing of some sort. What I'm going to be using is this cheap blue Hawaiian lei. This is going to be my tubing for the sprayer. So if we look at the top of our fire extinguisher, this is a pretty similar look. And so we're going to attach the tubing to this back side here. As I mentioned before, I want to be able to reuse this sprayer nozzle when this costume is all said and done. So I'm going to attach the lei with some hot glue, because once I'm done with the costume, I'll be able to pick the hot glue off the end and remove the lei. The last thing I'm going to do on my plastic bottle finishes drying is I'm going to print off a fake fire extinguisher label, and I'm going to run downstairs and grab that off my printer. Ta-da! Alright, now I've got all our pieces, so let's start assembling our fire extinguisher. I'm going to start by gluing on my label, and I'm going to just use some Mod Podge for this. We are going to screw our nozzle on. Just going to glue our meter on here. Again, just use a little bit of hot glue. One of the last things I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my hosing here. I'm going to make it stop right about here. And voila, there is my fire extinguisher. You could always add some extra details with electrical tape to create the band going around where the hosing would attach. And of course you can always glue your hosing onto the side if you don't want it to flop around all night. But this is what mine looks like. Alright, we just need a few more things before our costume will be complete. The next thing we're going to be making is some fake braces. Now, a couple words of caution. One, obviously if you already have braces, you're a step ahead in this game, so just stick with your real braces if you had them. Second of all, there's a couple different ways you can go with this, but what I would recommend above all else is safety, because you don't want to put something in your mouth that's going to be bad for you. So obviously, spend a little time doing some research and be smart with the choices you make. So, couple options. First option is to use stickers, and if you're like me and you don't have braces but you did before and now you have a retainer, you can put stickers on the front of your retainer and just pop the top retainer in, and that will give it a braces look. So you could take these little smiley face stickers, something like this. You could probably look for stickers that say they're non-toxic, like for little kids, because little kids put everything in their mouth, so probably you can find some stickers that say they're non-toxic and you could use that. Another option, again, I'm going to do this using my retainer as a base just because it works a little bit better, is to use some wire. Again, when you're using wire, double check what material it's made out of to make sure it's not anything harmful, because if you're going to be wearing this in your mouth all night while you trick or treat, you obviously don't want to be putting something in your mouth that's bad for you. So to make the braces, there's a couple different options. You can just take a piece of wire, and then I'm going to attach it by taping it to the front of my retainer, or you can add some shape to the wire. So if you're going to add some shape to the wire, you will need a pair of needle nose pliers. And we're just going to make a bunch of right angles. We'll fold it down, fold it up, fold it up, and create a little piece like that. And then go down just a little bit further, fold it 90 degrees, pinch it, fold it down, pinch it, then fold it up, up, down, down, up, up, and work along to fold your wire like this. I've got a piece already made that I made to fit my mouth, and then once I get to the ends and I cut it, I folded the ends under so that way I don't have any sharp pieces poking me in the mouth or in the gum so I don't cut myself. So I have a piece that looks like this, and the last thing I did was I taped it onto my retainer. You probably don't really care to see my retainer, but now I have a way to have fake braces, and plus because I have my retainer in, I also kind of end up talking a little bit more like Kari because it's hard to talk about my retainers. I'm gonna take those out. You probably didn't want to see me put them in or out anyway. Sorry about that. Anyways, so those are a couple ideas on how to fake the braces. Obviously, whatever you do, make sure that you use your brain and you think and you make smart choices with that. Another accessory you can make with this costume is to also have Jack Jack with you. Jack Jack has a couple of options of how you can tackle this. You can either order a Jack Jack doll, offline, or borrow it from someone if you know anybody who has one. Or you can get just a random baby doll, put it in a red outfit, and then spike up the hair. Now, I don't have any plastic baby dolls on hand. I might see if I can borrow one, so I might have one ready by the 31st. But as of right now, I don't actually have a Jack Jack doll, but that's just another idea of a way you can kind of just incorporate some extra details into your costume. So now we're on to just two more last little touches. The first one is kind of fun. It's not something that you see with your costume, but it's kind of more of an audible experience. Yes, you can download Rondo alla Turca. It's the Mozart song that plays in Jack Jack Attack, and you can have your phone playing this all night as you walk around. So that's just kind of a fun extra touch because remember, Mozart is very stimulating for the baby's development or whatever Kari says. And obviously Kari is the way she is because her parents never played Mozart, obviously. Last and final touch is to just do your hair and makeup. With makeup, Kari doesn't really wear much makeup, so I'll probably just do something simple, kind of like what I have on now. As far as hair goes, she just has a simple ponytail. My hair barely gets back in a ponytail. I have to do a bunch of bobby pinning. But the thing is, by the time Jack Jack Attack is over, her hair is like really crazy. So really simple way to do this is to get some dry shampoo or a texturizing spray, hairspray, something that'll just give your hair a little bit more, I don't know, texture, I guess, a little more grit to it, and pull it back in a ponytail, and then do the bout like that. And once you put all the pieces together, your costume for Kari will be ready. So there you have it. This is the basic look for Kari from The Incredibles. We've got our awesome little fire extinguisher, we've got our mirror, of course, our flashcard, and just the outfit and hair and all the little accessories to go along with it. So I'm ready to go out and get some candy. I hope you all have an awesome Halloween and have a great time trick-or-treating and stay safe. And of course, eat lots of candy. Happy crafting. Alright, if you've stuck around in the video this long, you deserve one last extra idea for this costume. What you do is, you get an empty baby diaper, and you carry around an empty baby diaper with you because, as we all know, Jack Jack's superpowers allows him to fly through walls and things, and of course, Kari has to catch his diaper. When she's trying to catch him, she's left with just the diaper. So just for some extra fun, if you don't have a Jack Jack doll, you can carry around an empty diaper and spend the whole night going, Jack Jack, Jack Jack, where's Jack Jack? Has anybody seen Jack Jack? So that's just one last idea for you. And obviously use a clean diaper.